Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 12.8 is finally here. And in this video, I'm going to try to cover everything you need to know about this patch in a timely manner. So we have a lot to talk about. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Craft In Hideout. My name is Ghost. If you guys have never been here before, I'm super excited you guys are here. This is a very exciting time for Tarkov. 12.8 has been pushed back multiple times. It has been teased for a while now, and it is finally here. I wanted to make sure that I was able to play 12.8 without just like reading patch notes, and in case I encounter some things that I can share with you guys for this video. So I'm so sorry that the video is late, but we're going to cover a lot. So before we get into everything that's happening with 12.8, I want you guys to know that I do stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. PST. I would love to have you guys by the stream. We usually have an amazing time, especially yesterday when 12.8 got dropped. There was just a lot going on. We streamed for a long time, a couple bugs that we'll talk about, but for the most part, we had an amazing time. And if you guys are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Tarkov content, because we have been putting out 3 to 4 videos a week. And I don't know why I say we when it's me. I've been putting out 3 to 4 videos a week, so I think it'll be worth it if you guys hang out for a bit. So without further ado, let's go into the Discord, and I'm going to show you a couple things. We're going to read over some of the patch notes, and then I'm going to show you some of this stuff in the game. So here we are. We're in the Discord. If you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, I really encourage you guys to do so, especially because we just added a couple bots. Thank you, Simply. To the Discord, that is going to be very useful for you guys. At first, we were using a lot of the resources and everybody was kind of adding to it and putting it in when we seen it. But now we have dorm section is like the general Tarkov chat. We have gun builds, tips and tricks. Tarkov 101 is like some of the things that you would need to know, resources, maps, what you need for the hideout, all of those type of things. YouTube is every single time I post a new YouTube video on Tarkov, you could find it here. So if you need to scroll back or check out what's going on. News is everything that BSG is putting out on their Twitter and social media platforms will go to the news. So you'll have it all here. Patch notes for anything that is dropped, like what we're reading right now, will be right here. Bot usage, this is the kilobot. So anytime that you want to ask a question, it'll basically pull up an answer from Tarkov Wiki or any other reliable sources answering your question. So it's very useful. Waiting room, and then we have a couple of raid chats. So if you guys want to come in here and use these chats when you guys are raiding, you can also do that as well. And then this is also a great place to meet people if you don't want to solo raid. So we have the patch notes right here, and we're just going to scroll through a little bit of these and kind of see what's going on. So for a couple of the regular things, we have sorting goods by category is now reset when moving between merchants. This is kind of like for the times where you would be in like barter only mode, and then you switch to skier from therapist, and all of a sudden you're still in barter only mode and you have to switch back to normal. This is just kind of like something that makes things a little bit quicker. There's a new hotkey to unload the chamber. So Control L is to, instead of pulling it manually from tabbing into the gun, you can just Control R, and then you can Alt R to rechamber around, which is actually really dope. Sent friend requests can now be canceled. So when you're in the flea market and you're trying to check an item, but you accidentally send a friend request or an invite to the person selling the item, how many of you have done it? Now you can cancel that friend request, so you don't have to be embarrassed. You can accept all invitations. So if you're very, very popular and you just get a ton of invitations, now you can accept them all at the same time. You don't have to waste time. Hey, accept. We have that. Now it tells you what equipment killed you. Another cool thing is when you get a kill, it tells you how far that kill was. Outside the stash, or outside the raid, the stash can now be opened and closed by pressing the tab hotkey. Okay. Added display of found in raid status icon for canisters in the hideout generator area if the canister is found in raid. Got you. Now that's kind of like, so when you're crafting, it's going to let you know if something is found in raid or not. So you're not just like giving your found in raid items to the craft. You can actually choose the items that are not found in raid. That's what that's talking about. So that's a couple of these things. None of these are like truly game breaking. A lot of these quality of life though is stuff and bugs that we've been wanting to get fixed for a while, and they are. There's a couple of nerfs and buffs like decreased damage radius for the GL40 grenades. Thank the Lord. We have increased armor piercing for 7.62 by 25 TT ammo. So little things like this. I'm not going to go through all of these. You guys can go through all of these if you want. One of the bigger things is the delay before pulling the trigger for the SV98. There's a lot of people that don't use the SV98. We have a loadout coming out pretty soon because there was a trigger delay. So literally you'd be tracking somebody and then you would go to shoot and then it would shoot. And how many of you know when you're sniping, it's very important that there's no delay when you're tracking and shooting. So that's that. So changes, we have stims and medical items now can remove contusion effect. We'll go over some of those as well because they affect the new heavy bleeds. We have the KS-23 shotgun, which is a 4 gauge or a 6 gauge, depending on where you're at in the world and how they define gauges. But anyways, it's a nasty shotgun with fat pellets that literally can one-tap. If you guys go to Reddit, you're going to see a bunch of videos of people getting one-tapped to the legs, to the thorax, to the face with this new shotgun. It is absolutely insane. When you are killing with this shotgun, there is an insane amount of blood. And my scavs just brought me something to my scav case. There's an insane amount of blood, and it's just crazy. This will definitely cause heavy bleeds. We're going to look at that. We're going to shoot it. We have the RFB rifle, which we're going to look at and shoot. We have new mods for various weapons. I'm going to show you some of them, but not all of them. We got some quality of life changes all right here. Like I said, guys, you could come to the Discord and read all this for yourself. I'm not going to go through everything. Fixed. Let's see what's added. So we have 2 new skills, crafting and hideout management. I'll show you. We have the compass, new type of bleeding, heavy bleeding. Many of you already know about that. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over what you can use. The S-Mark tourniquet, hemostatic syringe, KVAS beverage, fast backpack dump if you double tap Z. A new voice line for Bear, new voice lines for Gluhar, Sanitar, and Rashala. New faces and clothing for scavs, which was actually pretty cool. I loaded it in as a scav, and I was like, wait a minute, I've never seen this scav before. New character animations, so when you're in the loading screen, your guy is like fiddling with this gun, whether he's ADSing or checking the chamber or unloading, reloading, doing weird things like that. Giving it a little bit more lively. New clothes for USEC and Bear. Each one gets a top and a new lower. They're actually pretty clean. Very expensive, but also pretty clean. New equipment, there's new armored vests, chest rigs, backpacks, headphones, helmets, and berets we're all going to look at. And then there's a brand new pistol, the 45A1 pistol, kind of like the 1911 style that we also have that we will shoot and show you. So let's get right into the game and start going over some of these added things. Look at some of the guns because I know that's what many of you want to see. Talk about heavy bleeding, and then we're going to just slowly go through the other things that have dropped for 12.8. Okay, so we're in here now. This is also what the new armor looks like, which looks absolutely amazing. We'll talk about that in a second. We have the RFB, we have the KS-23M, we have the new suppressor on the Hunter, which is what we've been wanting for a long time. You guys know that's true. We have one of the new backpacks, the F5. We have, which is the same size as the Tri-Zip. We have the M45A1. And what else do we have from the new stuff? We have the S-Mark. We have the hemostatic. So we have both of the type of tourniquets. We have the single use, the 3 uses, which is pretty cool. The other thing, as you guys will notice, look at the hotbar. This is so legit. For those of you who use it often, you can totally see now if you have multiple meds and different things in here, how many uses you have left or how much health or durability you have left on your health, which is pretty cool. So we have the compass right here. So let's go look at the compass first. This is one of the, I feel like, most talked about features in the game, and if it's going to be useful. I see a lot of people saying it's completely useless. There's no reason why you would want a compass. And there's a lot of people who play with squads who are like, dude, the compass is legit. And I'm just going to tell you, as somebody who commonly plays with 4-man and 5-man teams, that this is very useful. You can see the bearing for the compass on the bottom right of the screen, that as I move, you can see 60, 70, 80. So it's cool because it's just like if you're playing Apex Legends or PUBG or any of these battle royales that usually have the bearing on the top of the screen. So you can say, hey, there's a guy at 325. Hey, there's a guy at 80. So instead of saying like, hey, there's a guy by that tree, and everyone's like, what tree? The tall tree, the skinny tree, the big tree, the fat tree? You just say, hey, the tree at 23 or the tree at 59, there's a dude over there, and just keep an eye out. There's also, I can hear somebody behind us at 275, so keep an eye out on that. It's very useful for squads, and especially saying like on the map, do we want to go north, south, east, or west? So so you can talk about that if you don't know all the different landmarks, so that'll help as well. Plus, it looks really sick. So how this works is you're going to get it from Jaeger level 1 for about 160,000 rubles, and once you buy it, you buy it. It basically, the slot works just like your melee slot. So unless you were to personally take this out and discard it, it's gonna stay there. Nobody can loot it from you. It's a one-time buy. So even if you just want to fill that slot, you can totally buy it. Okay, so let's start shooting some of these guns. I'm gonna just say right now, this RFB, at first, I was very pessimistic, not on stream or anything, just to myself when I seen it, because in my head I was thinking, this is literally just a worse MDR 308. It's another 308 bullpup, which is sick. I like the bullpups. The MDR 308 is one of my favorite guns in the game, other than the fact that you can't run 30-round magazines like the IRL version. But either way, I still like it. Now, then I was thinking, okay, they made the RFB, which is a semi-automatic. You cannot put this thing in full auto version of it with base, worse ergo, and worse vertical recoil. So I was like, how is this going to be viable in the game? And the thing is if you really wanted to use an effective 308, you're going to run like a meta juice cannon, right? You're going to run the SA58 FAL over this or the MDR, but it sounds amazing. It packs a mean punch, and I'm going to tell you right now, at 125 vertical recoil and 51 ergo, the stats feel better. They feel better. After shooting it, I'm convinced that I'm definitely going to be using this gun. I like semi-automatic guns, so if you can hit your shots with this, you are going to be dropping people. You're going to be conserving ammo and dropping people, and you get to utilize the 30-round mags that you can put in the SA58. Plus, it just looks really sexy with the BMD on it, which you can also run the wave suppressor, which I'll show you when we get back to the hideout, how that works. But let's shoot a couple rounds real quick. Let's turn this up a little bit. Do you guys hear that? That thing sounds nasty. So, I mean, me just shooting in the same spot, the spread is still pretty tight. The recoil is not that bad, and it sounds amazing. And 30 rounds, I feel like, is like perfect for this. This just, if somebody was shooting this into the building I was in, I would be hiding. Look at this. Anyways, guys, it feels and looks nice to me. I really, really like this, and I'm pretty excited to continue to use this gun. Let's go to the next gun, which is the shotgun, the KS-23, and this thing is absolutely nasty. So it has the slug shells, it has the buckshot shells, and then it has flash shells, which doesn't do any damage, but look at how it looks, guys. You got a Zarya in your gun! That looks crazy. Disorient them, and then use the nasty, nasty shot. This thing is nasty. When you use this, you are definitely going to probably cause heavy bleeds, and it's only going to take 1 or 2 shots to completely annihilate somebody. Then we have the Hunter, which we've been waiting for. And I know many of you are like, is it actually good? Is it going to be something that I'm going to be able to use? Is it going to be quiet? Because most of us want to recommend the Hunter. We want to use the Hunter early game or even later game, but it's like, dude, I don't want to run it. It's one of the loudest guns in the game. Now we have a suppressor for it. Listen to this. Do you guys hear that? That is quiet. For a Hunter, that is quiet. You can only barter for this right now for 1 AA battery and 1 Nixer lens, which comes to about 40 to 50K, so it's kind of an expensive suppressor, but just the fact that you can suppress a Hunter now is just so legit, man. Literally love it. And it looks clean. Wow. 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 And we have the new pistol, and last but not least, if you don't like the 1911 using the 45 AP rounds, you might not like this. It's pretty clean. I am going to use it. I don't know how much I'll like it, but I am going to use it. Feels good, honestly. And we have, look at this. You like that? So when you reload and you don't have another magazine that's full, you will load and chamber a single round if you have the ammunition in your rig. That's new. Kind of like a quality of life thing. It's pretty clean. And so if you wanted to do the whole thing where you pop it out of the chamber, you can do Control R and it pops out the chamber. And then if you wanted to rechamber it, it's Alt R, which I believe, because I don't have another one, it's going to be like so, since I have a magazine with ammo in it. But anyways, that's how that works. So now let's go back to our stash and look at a couple other things. Also, as you guys will notice right before we leave, that my body in the top left corner is all green. As you receive more damage, it will go yellow and red, showing you which limbs need to be healed the quickest, and also showing you where the most damage has been done, which is also pretty cool. You can actually revert it back to the gray and black regular setting if you want, if you don't like the color. I like the color for now, so I'm gonna leave it. All right, we're back in the stash. Let's go over some of the other things that were added. We have this new Kaiman helmet, which has a, it's a level 4 with a level 4 plate you can stick on top, and then it has a visor and a mandible, so it actually looks pretty sick. I'll show you guys right here. The problem is I'm kind of frustrated that they went level 2 on the eyes and mandible, because every other face shield we use and we still get penned through all the time. I get shot in the face and penned through many times because everyone's just running really good ammo, and that's level 3. So to go level 2 and kind of downgrade on a more expensive helmet, when you buy this whole helmet together, everything is pricey. This is like 65k, this is like 30k, this is like 30k. The helmet by itself is like 140k. So you're looking at a very expensive helmet with not a lot of benefit over running like a fast MT with the face shield, right? So, but it does look sick. I don't know how often I would run this, if at all, but this is one of the new helmets that you can get. This is one of the new armors, which looks like a black Killa armor. It looks so clean. I've been waiting for a black armor. So we have the Karunda VM. Problem is, and I'm not trying to sound pessimistic at all, guys. I'm just giving it to you straight. First of all, it's made out of armor steel, which isn't the best material, as we've noticed in our armor. I'm going to be doing another video on all the different armors and what materials are best. But just so you guys know, the armor that the Killa, the Trooper, those like ultra high weight polyethylene materials, the combined materials, those are the best materials for the armor, because a lot of the damage isn't eaten up every time you get in a fight. So like a Trooper, for instance, even though it's a level 4, I would probably run it over this, especially because I'm sure you can get a blacked out stomach, but it protects your thorax more. It has a lot more hit points. This has 45 armor points shared between stomach and thorax, and it is only 100k from proper. It looks sick, so it's probably not going to be terrible to run. It repairs amazing. It literally, if you get it back, you're going to repair it at like 99%. But when you actually get into a fight, it gets zeroed out very quickly, leaving you essentially one tap if you get into a second fight. That's my problem. So if you go to like the PvP-centric areas, like I wouldn't run this in resort or dorms or any of these places. You know that you're probably going to get into like 2 or 3 PMC fights, of course, unless you get shot in the face, because this armor is just not going to do well. You're going to be at like, I think I wore it and got into one fight, and it went from 45 points to 4 or 5 points. And I was like, I just felt so vulnerable for like a second fight. I was literally like, all right, you guys want to reset? Because I need new armor. So that wouldn't happen on many other 5 armors. So it's a little frustrating, but like I said, for 100k, I think it's probably a good price point for this armor, and you're not spending buku bucks for it. So that's pretty cool, and it looks super sick. Like I showed you guys right here, it just looks so clean. So some of the other stuff we have, let's go ahead and look real quick. We have, these are the rounds that we have for the barricade, the star, the shrapnel, and the shrapnel 25, 10 and 25. That's for the new shotgun. The 2 new backpacks, one that I was using, are both at the bottom of Ragman. So we have the I can't find it. Okay, so we have the F5, which is a switchblade backpack. This is essentially a nether tri-zip. So if you like tri-zips, you'll like this one. It's only 2,000 rubles more, and it gives you an option to like switch it up the way it looks, essentially. Nothing else is really different. Then we have the other new one, which is the F4, the Terminator backpack. And look at how this one is. So I don't really know how much people are going to run this because it's 76,000 rubles. And you can essentially fit one rig in here and then maybe 2 guns, depending if you take off your suppressors and some other things in here. But other than that, I don't really see a ton of use for it, because what you want is you want a backpack big enough to put multiple rigs in to fit more items, right? So you want to be able to fit like an LBT and a TV-110, or 2 TV-110s, or 2 Black Rocks. And that's just not happening in this backpack. So if you really, really like it the way it looks, then that's up to you. I'm not really a fan of the separated backpacks like this, but there is this backpack and it actually looks pretty sick. So there's that option. We also have the new wrist T helmet, which if you're a fan of the Alton, this is pretty much a better Alton. It has higher durability, but it's essentially in every other sense the same, except it's black, which of course is sicker. So right now I think you can only barter for this helmet, and the barter is, so plexiglass for this one, I think it's 10 plexi altogether, so that's going to make them go through the roof. Let's see right now. This is the wrists. You need aramid, plexiglass, and cordura, so it's pretty expensive. I think somebody said that it ended up being like $1 million with what price everything is right now. So $1 million for this helmet. I don't know how many people are going to be getting it right now, but if you want to and you're an Alton boy, you're going to have this option. One of the other things is the new LK backpack. It's just a little blue backpack that many people aren't going to run except for maybe memes, but you're going to have that option as well. It looks pretty cool. It's a little tourist backpack, just a little 12 slot, and it's a vertical instead of like the horizontal on some of the other ones. One of the other things we have is the K-Voss water, which is found in raid only, but now you can get it on the flea market because people are finding it. And this is just another water bottle that you could have, and it's going to replenish 65 hydration and 15 energy. So it's going to work like milk, where it's going to replace both, which is pretty cool. So you could also have this, and it's not bad. 14,000 rubles isn't too terrible. It puts it in the price range of the other two. Obviously the Aquamari is going to be way more for hydration at around the same price. One of the other cool new things added is there's a lot of attachments. I'm not going to go through all of them, but one of them, kind of like the BMD, is the CRD, and that's for the 5.56. So as you guys can see, this is a Meta M4 that I took off the jailbreak and the ST, and I put on this, which is the brand new, what's it called? The Fur Franz muzzle brake, and the CRD, which is a Fur Franz that goes over it, and it just looks so clean. So the reason why this is going to be good, not really for the Meta M4s, because it took me from 34 to 43 vertical recoil, so at that level, it's not really going to be better, even though 43 is still good, but the jailbreak only works with the SAI 14.5 rail. So you're going to be able to use this with pretty much any handguard. So you're going to be able to make little snubby M4s with this. You're going to be able to make larger M4s with this, and you're still going to be able to run this, which has good stats, just not better than the jailbreak. But I will say, I don't know where it is in the patch notes, but it does have less muzzle flash than the jailbreak. And I know some people are saying like the jailbreak doesn't add more muzzle flash. If you use it in comparison to some of these other muzzle breaks, it has more muzzle flash. It's on video for multiple people, including myself in some of the builds. So I don't know where it's at in the notes, but it has less, which is pretty cool. So we have stuff like that. Also, you guys are going to notice huge changes in the color. So if I need to put this somewhere, it's going to be yellow if I can put it in there, which is pretty cool. So when you're quickly looking for stuff, you can just go ahead and switch it. I can throw it in anything in here. Instead of going like 1 through 1 and like going like this to see where I can put it, I know I can put it in any one of these, and that's going to work. And then also the same thing when it comes to attachments on weapons. So if I was going to say take this UH1 off, and if I hold it, everything that I can put it on right away is going to be green, which is also pretty cool. Anything yellow is where I could put it into. So any of these guns, I can literally slap it on right now. That's green. So that's pretty cool, just for just quick moving stuff around in your stash. The other thing that I wouldn't recommend doing right now is using the sort menu for your stash, because people are having money cases and mag boxes and med boxes. A bunch of random stuff is disappearing, so don't use it yet. But inside, you can actually use it, and it's pretty cool. So if I wanted to go to like my miscellaneous ammo and I want to hit sort, it's going to go ahead and sort it all out for me. So that's actually pretty cool if you guys have messier stashes and you need help sorting it, or you just want to do it very quickly. You can do that as well. And then on top of that, when you are loading for a raid, this is so legit. I love this. Let's take this out. You can actually choose load ammo, and you can go through your ammos and say which one you want. So I'm going to go 2 mags of M62, a mag of M61. Now, if you want to top load and bottom load, you're still going to have to do that manually. But just the fact that this is available makes it so much quicker getting into the next raid. So I really think this is one of the better features that has been added. Just little things that make things go faster, especially when you're like streaming with people and you guys are all waiting on each other to go into the next raid. These are the little things that are just going to make everything go a lot faster. Let's go to the new skills real quick. There's 2 skills that's been added and 1 skill that has been like uncovered, I guess you could say. We have it is called prone movement. Was not a thing before, and so now it is, and that's going to decrease prone movement volume at 300%, negative 300%. Now, Pestily was saying that obviously it's not going to be at negative 300%. You're going to have to kind of see with a brand new account and this account and see like how much it actually factors in. But this is going to increase prone movement speed and decrease prone movement volume. Like I said, it's probably not at that percentage, but it does work. And then we have crafting, which is 2.25% to the reduction of item craft time. So every single time you craft something in the hideout, you're going to be able to level this up. And then the other one is percentage to the time of cyclic production of all cyclic except for the Bitcoin farm. So they're not trying to make it too crazy, but it's going to speed up the process of stuff for your crafting. And then we have hideout management. So let me go ahead and turn off my camera real quick so you could actually see it. Hideout management is down here, and this one is going to efficient hideout management allows you to use less fuel and filters in production and increases bonuses from zones. And right here we have increasing all percentage bonuses from zones by 3% of their values, decrease of fuel, air, and water filters. I can't talk right now. Consumption rate by 2%. So that's also pretty cool that those skills were added, and I'm sure more skills will be added to come. So next, let's talk about heavy bleeds. That is one of the main features, leaving blood trails when you have heavy bleeds, and making it very hard in the midst of fights. This is going to definitely nerf the fact that it's been pretty easy to go 1v3 and 1v4. Because there's a lot of confusion when there's a full team and everyone's like, where's the dude, the one dude we're trying to kill? And one guy is over here just, I can kill everybody. But the fact that you get wrecked by these heavy bleeds is going to make it easier to be overwhelmed, because now you have to use a tourniquet to stop it or you will literally bleed out. Yesterday, we had 3 different trades that happened just from heavy bleeds, because you're trying to finish the fight, but you're also, all your health is just depleting. Like if you think multiple small bleeds was bad, this heavy bleeds is gnarly. So what you could use to combat that is going to be the new S-Mark tourniquets, which you can get from Therapist. And it's going to 5-second use time, and you can stop it with 1 use. And then there's also the hemostatic tourniquets, and this is going to give you 3 uses and faster, kind of like the ALU splint, which is a 3-second use time. Also stopping heavy bleeds, which you're going to want to start keeping on you, is either one of those 2. And then you also have the Zagustin, which in the beginning they said wasn't going to stop heavy bleeds, only light bleeds, but now it stops heavy bleeds, which I think has made this very viable and almost like an overnight probably meta to have Zagustins on you. You cannot craft them in the hideout, so you can just purchase these, but this is definitely something that you're going to want to run. And then it also prevents future bleeds by using this stim. And then you can also stop heavy bleeding with your Salewa, and you can stop it with a Grizzly. So yesterday, the Grizzly and the Salewa were using, so this is stopping heavy bleeds at 150 HP, and the Grizzly stops it at 130 HP. But yesterday, the Salewa was at 95. Which is crazy, because just in one day they decided to up it, and it's probably because nobody was running the tourniquets. Instead, they were just running more meds. They were running Salewas and just saying, oh, well, I'll just eat up the 95 anytime I have a heavy bleed, and I don't have something extra to buy and something extra to carry. So they changed it to almost double and using 150. So it uses a nice chunk of your meds if you decide not to run a tourniquet. So it's worth it to bring the tourniquet. And then now it's at 150, and the Grizzly is at 130. The other thing is the car kit no longer stops bleeds at all. So basically, it's like a bigger cheese at 220 HP. And you can go ahead and use that if you want to, but it makes them a lot less viable. IFAKs do not stop heavy bleeds, but the IFAK now is only at, I believe, 35 to stop regular bleeds. Where's my IFAKs at? The IFAK is at 30 to stop regular bleeds, and it's still in one slot. I don't think the IFAK is going anywhere. I think we're all still going to use them, especially if you put them in your Gamma, because it only takes one slot. But that's also something to be noted. So a couple other cool things is, one cool thing is that you can see your squad. So when you are with your squad, you can see what everyone's wearing. You can see who's running like a Chad, who's running like a rat, right? If you use those terms. And you can totally see everybody, which is cool because in lobby, now there was quite a bit of bugs with this, but just the fact that you can see your homies was pretty cool. There is a grouping bug right now that is going around, and I actually seen it on Reddit, and I was like, wow, this bug looks really frustrating. It looks really annoying. I hope I don't get it. And I literally came in yesterday and got the grouping bug. So every single time I wanted to play with somebody and not be solo, I had to restart the client. And I restarted the client probably about 43 times yesterday, and it was really frustrating. So I hope that gets patched soon. The other thing that I forgot to show you guys was dropping the backpack with double pressing Z. It's very, very useful. I'm happy it's here, but it literally sounds like someone's dropping a car off of a building. It's so loud. So I wouldn't recommend using it often right now, especially if you're trying to drop a backpack and go into a fight, because they're going to know exactly where you're at because it's so loud. This has to be a bug. I'm pretty sure that they're going to change it, because even if your backpack is almost empty, it is so loud. And if you guys have done it yesterday, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so let's go over a couple other things. We have... what did I miss, guys? We have Veritas Golden Pick now you can find in safes, and that is going to be added to the collectors, as well as a new T. So that's going to be part of getting Kappa now. You can also find new things in safes like SSDs. You can also find new things in computers, and you can find new things in filing cabinets that are of high value, making those a little bit more viable again. So you're going to definitely be finding new stuff in loot. One of my boys yesterday found a slick in a floor cache in interchange. And another thing is in the small black containers and the large black containers, the gun cases or gun containers, I've been finding a helmet in almost every single one. I'm talking like nice helmets, U-Lock, LZs, ACPs, all of these helmets. I was like, dude, why am I finding all these helmets? So there's definitely different and more premier loot in some of these places. Also, if you're buying in flea market and you're trying to buy in bulk and somebody else buys like one of your 75, and you know how usually you would get that error. Now there's no error. You're just going to get 74 instead of 75. They give you the remainder, which is pretty cool. You don't have to keep going in and be like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. The other thing is you can't heal and pack mags anymore because it was considered a bug. So the bug has been fixed. So it's hard. It's going to be hard to get used to, but that's also something that has changed. There's now a generator warning. So if you are leaving to turn off your game and your generator is running, it's going to tell you, hey, your generator's running. Do you want to still leave? So that's pretty cool for those of you who are turning your generator off. In the team screen, you can also kick people, disband the team, or transfer leadership, which is pretty cool. Let's see, what else? Oh, how did I forget this? So in the hideout, guys, you can now craft 7N31. This is absolutely insane because 7N31, only getting 90 rounds from proper, has just been hard because you literally have to, I have to set alarms. I'm like having Google set my alarms so that I can come in and buy ammo, or else I'm not able to use it on my MPX. So being that we can craft it now is pretty cool. You can go to the workbench and you can, let me just accept this real quick. And you can craft 7N31. It's an amazing round for some of the builds I've already shown you guys. So you need nails, you need PST, GCH, blue gunpowder, and green gunpowder. Green gunpowder you guys can craft. Blue gunpowder is fairly cheap. PST is really cheap. I think it's like 52 rubles a round. The nails is where it gets expensive. Right now, nails are about 50k rubles because of this craft. I mean, these were going before, guys, for like 2,000, 2,400, 2,200 a round. So the fact that you can craft it now is really, really useful. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was there has been a change to some of the top tier ammo on how much they are and how much you can get. So for instance, on Peacekeeper, now 995, M995 is 15 USD a round, and you can only get 60, I think, versus 90. Then you have the M62 is now $5 a round, and you can only get 100. Then you have the 55A1. You can only get 120 instead of 250. And this is going to be $3 a round instead of $2 a round. So there's things that have definitely went up in here. AP63 is $4 a round. You could get 120. So as you look around, you're going to begin to see changes like this. Let me see if Skier's changed. I don't know if his did. 55A1. Yeah, you can get 90 instead of 100. And he has it for 355. I can't remember what his rubles were before, but I think it was a little bit lower. So there's going to be changes like that as well. Let's look over this real quick. Let's see what else we have. Ibuprofen and Golden Star were nerfed. So Ibuprofen now, instead of lasting 6 minutes, lasts 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And Golden Star takes away energy, but then replenishes some energy. And instead of lasting 10 minutes, it lasts 7 minutes. So that definitely got nerfed. For the Tarkov shooter task, you can now use any bolt action rifle you want, which a lot of us have been waiting for. That's pretty cool. Also, if you are flashbanged and you try to reload, it'll automatically drop your magazine. New berets are found on scavs, so that's pretty cool. I think there's 3 or 4 colors that you could find of berets. Just something fun to put in there. Fall damage, that's what I wanted to talk about. Fall damage has been increased dramatically. So some of those areas on customs where you jump over the wall, if you're wearing a backpack or you're overweight at all, you're gonna break your legs. We were breaking both of our legs multiple times yesterday, moving around customs and jumping off rocks, jumping over fences and doing stuff like that. So you have to be very careful. You might want to use the new feature to throw your backpack over and then jump over, making it so that you're not overweight, because then you won't break your legs or just bring a lot of splints, whatever you want to do. Whew, okay, so I think we pretty much covered everything that's important. Overall, it feels really good. There was a couple of bugs, but I'm so excited for 12.8. I think I honestly might be more excited for stuff that's happening in 12.8 for the game and quality of life changes than I was for 12.7. I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth with it. I hope you guys like it. If I missed anything, let me know down in the comments. That way other people can read it and we can all kind of vibe off each other, getting that new information. Also, make sure you guys check out the Discord, where there's a bunch of resources for Tarkov, especially if you're a new player, that you guys could use, and then also so you guys don't have to play solo. If you guys got some value out of this video, make sure you smash that like button. It really does go a long way for the channel so that more people can see the video, and it means a lot to me. If you guys want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe to the channel. You can always hit the little bell if you want to be notified every single time a video goes live. I hope to see you guys by the live stream soon at twitch.tv/xvlnghost. I'm live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. PST. Whether you guys want to chill after work, get into some raids, talk about 12.8 live, you guys can come through. We usually have an amazing time, and I know it's going to be a better time with you there. I hope you guys are very blessed. I hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. I hope 12.8 treats you pretty fairly. I hope your raids are plentiful, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.